All right, this is part 2 of Google Plus Week. Had a technical issue with Justin TV or Wirecast. It's the new version of Wirecast. Anyway, we're back, I think. So, let's. We were discussing maps. Another practical application would be if you were a food cart, right? And you wanted to tell people where you were.
Oh, an excellent point.
Yeah, I think this is going after Foursquare and Twitter. You know what I mean? Just say, hey, this is where we are right now. We're at this corner, and you can have your laptop, and it can pick it up from GPS. Especially, this would be more applicable if it were doable from a mobile device. I'm in this restaurant.
Well,
click. Here's where I am. Right?
Here's the thing. I mean, from a mobile device, and even from Google Plus, you can check in at a given location, which is why I'm not entirely sure it's aimed at Foursquare. You can already check in at a given location. This is already something you can attach to your post. You can already do that using mobile. In fact, with mobile, you even have the nearby feature so that you can see, who's near you that has checked in recently near you. So that's a win on that front. I certainly can see this being used for that kind of thing, saying, here's where we're going to be on Wednesday. Come check us out then. So it's not necessarily checking in at a location, it's more advertising your location. I certainly think that's a valid use. Again, I think it boils down to anything that you currently use a Google map for today, you will be able to share it tomorrow. Well, you'll be able to share it today. And I think that from there, it's really only limited by how people can think to use it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So lots of anyone else want to chime in on this? On how excited we are about this map API or mapability? Okay. All right. Speaking of APIs, tell me what's up. Tell us what an API is, of course, and then tell us why this matters for folks who don't know.
Okay. You got to realize I'm a developer. I'm a computer programmer. And this is one of the things I've been waiting for since Google Plus rolled out. API stands for Application Programmer Interface. Basically, it's the way that people who write programs know how to get their programs to talk to some other program. In this case, it lets people write a program so that they can talk to Google Plus directly. And people have been waiting for this because, well, for starters, Facebook and Twitter have had this for a long time. And this is going to be how you really start to see some of the incredibly creative and innovative stuff come out. It was Facebook's API that in a lot of ways really made Facebook, because it meant that you didn't have to rely on just Facebook extending, putting new things in. Other people were doing so now too. This is why, in a lot of ways, for example, Microsoft beat out Apple in its early days. They had a more extensive API. Google has been a very strong supporter of public APIs. A lot of their services have APIs. This is why Google Maps beat out MapQuest, for example, if anyone still remembers MapQuest. It's because Google had an API, and people were writing all sorts of clever programs to do things with Google Maps. We've been waiting 10 weeks for this API for Google Plus to come out. And yesterday they finally released the first version of the API. And all the developers rushed to the blog and rushed to download it and looked at the documentation and essentially said, oh, that's awesome. When do we get the rest? Basically what they gave us were tools that would let us write programs that could read public profiles and public streams. And that's it. We can't look at circles. We can't look at posts that were shared to a limited crowd. It's fairly limited at what we can do at this point. Now, I've already seen a couple of apps come out that do some really neat things, like analyze how many posts you make and how many comments you have on average, and how many of your posts were of pictures and so forth. And that's good. I mean, it's useful, it's clever, it's a good first step. But, we really expected more from Google at this point.
Okay. Well, I guess they want to make sure it's right before they have you write a program, and then they change something, and then you're mad at them.
Well, but here's the thing. There's an API now. The website that you use has an API behind it that's communicating with Google servers. On your Android or iOS phone, you're running a program that is using Google's API. So if they change something in the API, they need to change their programs as well. And, pushing out a new program to iOS is a pain. And, we all know this is a field trial. We all know that things are going to change. Certainly as programmers, more than anyone else knows that things are going to change. And the only way to find out if there are problems is to let us at it, to let us poke at it, to let us find those problems. So it's, again, on some level we understand, on some level we're happy they're finally giving it to us, but man, oh man, can't they just give us everything already?
I know.
I guess that's it. We just want it all.
And free. Make sure it's still free, and we get everything. Okay, all right, that's awesome, and I'm excited to see that come along, and to see what different applications and folks like you come up with. And then I've seen some things, like I guess there's a Plus Clout and some other stuff that would rely on being able to look at someone's profile. Although I think you have to log in there and sign up for it before it includes you. And so anyway, changes coming down the pike. What we got?
No, these are here.
Or here.
These are here. Bradley Horowitz announced on Tuesday, I believe, to keep an eye out for the fix for the Kangaroo stream. And sure enough, he actually delivered it by the end of the week. People started reporting that the jumping around was gone. But we haven't seen an official notice from them yet that it's been fixed. But a lot of people are reporting that it's fixed, and just about everyone I know is very happy that it's fixed. If it's not fixed for you, make sure you reload your page.
Okay.
The next item, the new login page. I noticed this. I can't remember when I noticed it. Yesterday, I think. I'm like, something looks different here, but I don't know. I can't put my finger on what. I mentioned this today, and I had a couple of people say, "Oh yeah, it changed." And hey, did you notice the Gmail login page changed too? And I hadn't, because I hadn't logged into Gmail recently. So I checked in, and sure enough, it had changed as well. And at the bottom of both of them, there's a little link to a help article saying, hey, we changed the home page. It's really our home page still. And, that was about it. Basically, they changed it so that it looks nicer, or looks more consistent with the rest of their UI. And finally, and I don't know how much this is related to the API being released, but if you go to your profile now and you go to edit it, you'll discover there are now 3 sections for links that you can edit, instead of the previous way to kind of include a link and indicate what it linked to or something like that. It was always a little vague. So now there is a section called Other Profiles, a section for Contributor To, and a section for Recommended Links. So they're trying to let you categorize your links a little bit.
Okay. All right. Cool. Awesome. All right. Well, let's see. Anything else going on with Antonio? We have an Anthony and an Antonio. Antonio, what else? Anything pique your interest this week as we close up the show?
One point that I wanted to make earlier is that one of the things that I instantly recognized about Google Plus was its potential to do good. Just because of the capabilities that it gives us of following so many people without having to go through the friend request process. It's just so easy for the spread of ideas, and I'm really, really looking forward to getting into start putting out some of my own ideas, start debating with different people, and as far as the show goes, I enjoyed it very much. I thank you very much for having me on here. Sorry I didn't contribute a whole lot, speaking really is not my strong suit. I'm better when I have time to sit down and write and clarify all my thoughts. But I hope that the future brings us some lively debate. Prisoner, you said you had disagreed with a lot that I said. I would like to hear more about what you disagree with and see, if there's any common ground that we can find. And
I think we have plenty. I think we have plenty of common ground. I mean, I think your point that Google Plus has a lot of potential is something I've been saying for weeks now. Google Plus does have a lot of potential. It really does let people provide a better platform for people to discuss and debate. However, it also provides a better platform for people to share animated GIFs of cats and all sorts of other garbage. I think where Google really needs to shine is when it starts giving us better filters to filter that, to let us find the things we want to talk about and filter out the things we don't.
That's not fair, Priz. That's not fair. I mean, it's whether you want to follow someone, and then you can't. If you read the Washington Post, you can't expect them to put out a special edition with no comics in it. If you choose to follow
but at the Washington
me,
Post, I don't have to go to the comics page.
Yeah, but you got to choose whether to. I mean, you can't tell, some person who pontificates about third world debt and philosophies of life or coding, and then occasionally puts the funny cat picture up. You can't filter that out. You could choose whether or not to follow them.
Sure I can, Dan. Sure I can. That's called a circle.
No, right, but if you're following that person, you can't. You can either look at the person or not look at the person. You can't ask. I'm not sure.
Well, I can't today. But here's the thing: if there have been a lot of people who have been going around saying things like, well, yesterday I was in a hangout. Somebody asked me what circle to put me in, and I said I was kind of confused by it. And he said, well, I've got a circle for programmers. I've got a circle for people who like hangouts. I've got a circle for people who like football. Which one do you want to be in?
Right.
And, the problem is we're currently filtering based on what we want to say, who our expected audience is. If I was just going to be talking about pseudonyms, for example, I could narrowly focus and talk just to people who want to talk about pseudonyms. I have a circle for that. Instead, I post publicly, and I subject people who aren't even vaguely interested in the subject to listen to me. That's a filtering problem, and that's an information overload problem, and that's something we need to deal with, or something that Google is going to need to address.
Okay. All right. Any last response on that, Antonio?
Huh?
Any last response on that, Antonio?
I'm not very good at talking about, Google Plus versus Facebook versus Twitter. I'm just good at identifying what I feel is the best platform for, really great exchanges, and I feel that platform is Google Plus. I can't explain the feeling fully, but when I saw it and started interacting on it and saw the community that was building, the emphasis on, respectable exchange of ideas, even though you might disagree, that's something I hadn't encountered before on social media. And, Scooter Monkey made a point of, that experience being a result of who you are interacting with rather than what you are interacting on. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. But for me, at least, it just happens to be a coincidence that this who I'm interacting with is on Google+. And I'm really looking forward to putting some of my ideas out there and seeing how people react to them, seeing, people offering new insights into what I have to say, and me doing the same for them. I really think, in the future, it could be something that could change the very landscape of our country. And, that's obviously a very loaded statement, but we'll see where it goes. You know.
You should check out Christina Trapolino. She's on the same wavelength. She's a huge fan. She's on the show once in a while, and
keep following her. I like a lot of her stuff. She posts some really interesting articles.
Yeah, she's great. Let me hit up
through her post or something.
Cool, awesome. All right, let me Anthony, you're still on, right?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Any thoughts or anything interesting happened on Google Plus this week? You want to hit us before we close up?
No, not this week, I guess.
All right, that's cool. And then we got one caller with no caller ID. Is that Brad? Are you on?
Hey, what's up, Dan? Yeah, this is me, mate. How are you?
Awesome. Okay, we got a plug. I'm on his show in 2 hours, right? Or no,
That is correct, mate. That is correct.
Are you live or you're recorded? You're recorded, right? So
we just record over Skype, mate. But we're gonna have two guests on today. You and someone else.
Okay, cool.
She's from Australia.
So
you just might want to sit in and have a bit of a chat and be a co-host on Tech Webcast.
That's cool. So if folks want to listen to that, it's not live. I'm on in 2 hours, but then it's posted after. What's the website folks should go to? The easiest way for them to find that show. I'll post it on my Google Plus page.
Sure. It's just techwebcast.info, or you can just do a search on iTunes for Tech Webcast.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, cool. And then I don't know how to get a hold of you. How do I get a hold of you?
On Skype. Just what time is it there now where you are? It's 11:05 a.m. here.
It's 11:05 a.m. there. So you want me at 11 p.m. my time, which is 1 p.m. your time. So I should call you right at 1?
Correct. About 1:45, about 12, about 20 to 1 or something like that, 20 to 1.
Okay, that's cool. And then why don't you share a post with me with your Skype username that you want me to call you on?
It's Brad2006.
Oh, I see it there. Okay. Brad 2006. And then it's audio only, or you want me on video?
One. There's the one at the end of that, Dan.
Yeah, one at the end.
Okay. Did you want me on Did you want me on just audio or video as well?
Just audio, mate.
Okay,
just
that's
audio.
cool. All right, cool. Any last notes, Brad from Australia? Any exciting stuff happen in Google Plus this week you want to share with us?
We had Daria Musk on our show last week.
Who?
Last Saturday, which was Daria Musk.
Oh, okay.
She's a singer and great chatting with her. Great voice. You must check her out.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. Awesome. Hey, thanks. Final thoughts, Prisoner. You did so much work on the show. You get the last word.
Final thing I've got to say. Expect some great photographs Monday morning. We've got some 2 awesome photo walks going on. New York City has a photo walk, and Austin has a photo walk, and they're awarding prizes at the Austin photo walk, I understand. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes out from each.
Awesome. I'm excited about that. Cool. All right. So I will. Brad, can I? What if I can? No, I can't. I don't want to do this. I'm trying to think. Okay. All right. Awesome. I will. I guess we're done, right? Any final thoughts, anybody? Hey, thanks so much for. All right, thanks so much for watching.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much for watching. This is, despite our technical glitch, it was a fun week. I appreciate everybody, especially all the hard work Prisoner did in putting our list together here. I'm Dan McDermott, and this is Google Plus Week. Thanks. We'll see you next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.